أعوذ بالله من الشيطان اللعين الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وبه نستعين ثم الصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين الرسول المسدد المصطفى الأمجد أبي القاسم محمد اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد وعلى آله الطيبين الطاهرين المعصومين لا سيما بقية الله في الأرضين أرواحنا له فداء أما بعد فقد قال الله سبحانه وتعالى في كتابه الكريم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم يا أيها الذين آمنوا إذا نودي للصلاة من يوم الجمعة فاسعوا إلى ذكر الله وذروا البيع ذلكم خير لكم إن كنتم تعلمون صدق الله العلي العظيم. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Jummah Mubarak. As the Shahadat of Imam Ja'far al-Sadiq alayhi salatu wasalam approaches us, in fact next week on the 25th of Shawwal, I thought it would be appropriate to give one of the words of wisdom of Imam Sadiq. And truly in the time that we're living, it is something that everyone should keep in mind and take to heart. The Imam has stated ثلاثة أشياء يحتاج الناس طرا إليها. So he says there are three things that every person, every individual is in need of. Those three things are al-amnu, wal-adlu, wal-khisb. So every individual is in need of amn, in need of security. For without security, a person would not be at ease, a person would perhaps not even be able to sleep properly at night, or even walk in the streets and feel safe. So every person needs to have security. In fact, when we look at some of the other traditions of Ahlul Bayt, alayhim afdalu salatu wassalam, and particularly Rasulullah, the person who bears the title that he or she is mu'min, it comes from that sense, comes from that idea that that person is secure. And not only is that person secure, but that person gives security to others. As the Prophet, he states that the mu'min is someone who everyone is secure from his or her tongue or his or her actions, meaning that the actions of a mu'min or the statements of a mu'min does not harm others. The second thing which everyone is in need of, as the Imam he states, is adl, is justice. So everyone needs justice, meaning that no one's rights should be infringed upon, and everyone should be, as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has stated, and we have mentioned this in a number of our lectures these past few weeks, that the believer himself should be the one who is establishing justice. As Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He orders the believers, كُونُوا قَوَامِينَ بِالْقِسْطِ شُهَدَاءِ لِلَّهِ. Be those who found and establish justice. Be the example of justice wherever you are, wherever you live. The third thing that people need, as Imam he stated, is khisb. Khisb means economic viability, that everyone needs to have a viable means of work, or even the opportunity to provide for himself or herself and their family. This is among the basic needs of every individual within a society. And in fact, if we see that these things are established in a place, amn, security, adl, justice, and al-khisb, economic opportunity, that if these things exist, then the society would move forward, the society would be a prosperous society. In fact, when we look to the Quran itself, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in verse 126 of Surah Al-Baqarah, that is chapter 2 of the Quran, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He narrates one of the supplications, the du'as of the Prophet Ibrahim alayhi salam. When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He states, وَإِذْ قَالَ إِبْرَاهِيمُ رَبِّ جَعَلْ هَذَا بَلَدًا آمِنًا وَارْزُقْ أَهْلَهُ مِنَ الثَّمَرَاتِ مَنْ آمَنَ مِنْهُمْ بِاللَّهِ وَالْيَوْمِ الْآخِرِ. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He narrates that when Ibrahim, he was in Mecca, building the Kaaba, knowing that this is a place where people would come and they would make pilgrimage. They would come to this. So Ibrahim, he made a dua. He said that, "Oh Allah, make this land secure and provide it with produce." In other words, make this land secure for anyone who comes. According to some of the commentators, they say that anyone who comes to this land is an amn. And in fact, when we read the ahkam, that in the parameters of the haram, that everything is secure, that it is forbidden to kill anything within that parameters, even a lice that is on one's body feeding. So Ibrahim, he's making this dua that, "Oh Allah, make this place a secure place." And then he makes the dua for sustenance, that, "Oh Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, warzuq ahlahu," that whoever is in this land, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala provide them with abundance of rizq and sustenance. According to the commentators of the Quran, they say that this sustenance is twofold, and it can indicate on both types of sustenance, that is the physical and worldly sustenance, rizq, and likewise the spiritual sustenance, the ma'nawiyat, the spirituality that one gains by making the pilgrimage and going on Hajj. So Ibrahim, he makes this dua. And what is also noticeable about the dua of Ibrahim is that he signals out the believers. He says, "Man amana minhum billahi wal yawm al-akhir." So the dua of Ibrahim is geared towards the believers, that, "Oh Allah, make sure that these are the individuals who especially has a security and especially is given sustenance from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala." And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He responds to that to show the rahmat of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The rahmah, which is the rahmat al-Rahmaniyya, as we state, when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He answers the dua of Ibrahim, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, "Qal," meaning that Allah is responding to Ibrahim, "Qal, وَمَنْ كَفَرَ فَأُمَتِّعُهُ قَلِيلًا ثُمَّ أَضْطَرُّهُ إِلَى عَذَابِ النَّارِ وَبِئْسَ الْمَصِيرُ." So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that even those who do not believe in Him, those who rejected His revelation, those who rejected the prophets that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent forth to guide mankind, Allah says that even those individuals, I will give them sustenance. But their sustenance will be short-lived. It would only be within this world. So He will give them that sustenance in this dunya. But that rizq that is related to the akhirah, that rizq which is the spirituality, unfortunately, because they rejected the revelation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, they rejected the prophets of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the awliya of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, they will not benefit from it. But whatever is in this world, they will benefit. So we see that, again, the believer, when he or she moves forth to establish justice, it is established for everyone. The opportunity to gain sustenance to live in this world, the opportunity to live in a secure and safe place, the opportunity to live under justice, when it is established by the believers, as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala commands the believers to establish, then it encompasses everyone. And that is part of the rahmat of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the rahmat al-Rahmaniyya, but of course the rahmat al-Rahimiyya, the exclusive and specific mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, which is connected with the hereafter. That is something that only those who believe in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will benefit from. And as the commentators of Quran, they stated that when Ibrahim, he singles out the believers in this dua, it is connected with that special rahmat of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Because he already knows that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, in His mercy and His justice, He will sustain everyone. And of course, if the believers are given that opportunity to live as they should live, to be that example as they should be in this world, they will, inshallah, be the ones who establishes security, al-amnu, and justice, al-adlu, and al-khisbu, economic opportunity. And according to one of the mufassirin, Ayatollah Karim Shirazi, he says that if we look at least within the verse of Quran where Ibrahim, he is making that dua, and it speaks about security and economic opportunity. It says that one of the things that is very evident about this verse, it says that, or at least it alludes to this idea, this concept, that in order to have good economic opportunity, then there must be security. If there's not security in a place is drenched in chaos, and there's again fighting, there's people at odds with one another, then there's not a lot of economic opportunity in the world. And if we look at the news, we look around the world, we look at those places that are at ease, that has relative security, then we also see that there's usually more economic opportunity in those places. So listening to the words of Imam Sadiq alayhi wasalam, I pray that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives us the success and strength to provide these things, or to do our duty in bringing about security in this world, to bringing about justice in this world, and also economic opportunity for everyone in this world. وآخر دعوانا أن الحمد لله رب العالمين. And we pray for the haste and reappearance of Imam Zaman, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala makes us among his helpers, his companions, and those who sacrifice our lives for him, and that may he establish justice in this world as it has been filled with injustice. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Allahumma kulli waliyika al-Hujjat ibn al-Hasan salawatuka alayhi wa ala aba'ih في هذه الساعة وفي كل ساعة وليا وحافظا وقائدا وناصرا ودليلا وعينا حتى تسكنه أرضك توعا وتمتعه فيها طويلا برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين.